Hi, Matt Rosendahl from Great Lakes Home Performance and MattKnowsThat.com. One of the most common questions I get is, Matt, what do you think of tankless water heaters? And like so many other things, I say it depends. It depends on a number of variables, how many people are in the house, how much water you're using, the water quality, all that kind of stuff. Also, it depends on your local codes, whether they will allow them or not, and what kind of gas line you have. Now, this particular unit, this is a Navien, and I think it's a 97% efficient tankless water heater. And one of the things that you have to understand about these is that they require a lot of BTUs. This one will go all the way up to 199,000 BTUs because it's supplying an entire house for hot water. Now, one of the things to understand about that is that if you have a regular tank style water heater right now in your existing home, then your gas line might not be big enough to supply enough gas to a water heater like this. Because at 199,000 BTUs, it's going to be using all of the gas that's coming in on your gas line. Now, a typical home only has a gas supply that has about 200, maybe 220,000 BTUs of gas coming through the line. And if we have a furnace that's using gas, which in this case we do, we have a gas dryer, and we have a gas range upstairs, those appliances are going to be using more than half of the gas that's in that supply line, so we'll only have an extra 100,000 BTUs to supply to this that may need 199,000 BTUs. Now, it so happens that in this new construction home, they planned for that by putting in a bigger gas line, or you could also have a high pressure gas line and the meter that goes along with it. So if you're planning to replace your existing water heater with a tankless water heater, that's one of the first things that you have to consider is what is the size of the gas line and the gas meter pressure that's coming into the house, and is it going to be enough gas to supply the water heater as well as any other appliances that are going to be using gas. Now, another consideration for these is how long of a run is it, and are you expecting to have water instantly as soon as you turn on the hot water valve? Now, just like a regular tank style water heater, when you turn on hot water at a faucet, it's going to have to fire up and heat some water before it gets to you. So you're not going to have hot water as soon as you turn on the faucet, just like a regular hot water heater. There is a recirculation line in here that you can set up a timer so that it has a little loop that runs, but that's a little bit of an energy loser. Some of these units also have a little tank, like a 1 or 2 gallon tank inside of them so that they hold some water so that if you just need a little bit of water for hand washing, you can get it a little bit faster and it doesn't have to fire up the water heater in order to get that water to you. Now, an important consideration for this type of water heater is that when it's installed, you have to have cleanout ports, and this one does. There are 2 little hose adapters down here at the bottom so that the system can be back flushed with a deliming solution. Since this thing is 199,000 BTUs when running full force, any impurities that are in the water are going to stick to the element. And what that does over time is it reduces its capacity to be able to heat the water. And so you'll start having diminished capacity, the thing will run and run and run and run, and you won't quite get hot water out of it. And so by having it back flushed every year with a deliming solution, you can maintain that element. So that said, water quality plays a big part in how well these perform. So they do best if you have really good, not hard water that you've run through a water softener before it gets to the water heater. Now, this particular unit has a 2-pipe system, and the plumber took a shortcut and didn't install the intake pipe up on the top. You can see that we've got one PVC pipe going up and out, and that's the exhaust going out. And I'm going to call them and tell them that they need to put the intake in because we don't want to just use basement air for our combustion air. There's no other combustion supply down here. We want it to draw air from outside. So that's a shortcut that the plumber took. So if you get one of these and it has PVC chimney, make sure that they run 2 pipes so that you're not using basement air for your combustion air. Another good installation idea for a hot water heater might be if you have an addition that you're putting on, maybe you're building a new master bathroom suite and you're going to be a long ways away from the water heater, or you don't want to replace your water heater, but maybe it's not quite big enough to fill your jacuzzi tub, you could put in a smaller unit that just supplies that addition that you're putting on. Now, don't make the mistake of just getting an electric one so that you don't have to worry about that gas line. because an electric hot water heater that's big enough to supply an entire house is 171 amps, which means an entirely new electric service panel and probably $3,000 to $4,000 worth of electrical work to put in your water heater. So you may be better off with just a regular tank-style water heater, or if you have a small house and a high-pressure line, or you're building a new house, the tank-style water heater will save money in the long run because you're not having that excess heat loss through the tank, and you're only paying for the water that you're using. So I hope that answers a few of your questions. If you have any more questions about tankless water heaters or typical water heaters, put them down in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and you'll be notified of any new videos as soon as I post them. Be sure to also visit mattknowsthat.com for a few more home energy ideas. Thanks for watching.